The supplies I'm using today are long coffin nail tips, nail stands, black and white polish, and the same nude I used in the original look. Before you do anything to a press-on nail, we all know that you need to buff the surface. If that surface is shiny, that stuff's just going to come peeling right off. So go ahead and buff all 10 nails with your method of choice. This is what I now call the old-fashioned way. It's slower than cream rising on buttermilk, if you ask me, but this is people's go-to, and that's okay. But the game changed for me when I found this out. You just take some primer and you take it on a couple nails, and then you take a dry brush and you brush through it after the nail has melted some. That way you're getting rid of that shine and that smooth surface, and everything you're going to apply to this tip is going to stick just as well as if you spent all that time buffing it. If you wait longer than a couple seconds, your primer is going to dry back up and you're not going to be able to etch the surface of your nail, so make sure you're working quickly. I do 2 nails at a time. That way, by the time I've applied primer on the second nail, I can immediately go back to the first one and go ahead and etch it. And please clean the plastic out when you're done. Please. Don't be that girl. Now I'm going to go in with 2 coats of the Bear With Me. My absolute favorite nude. I use this so much. I can't even count how many bottles I've been through of this stuff. Oh my gosh, I just almost seen somebody in a wreck. I'm waiting for my groceries, sorry, while I'm doing this voiceover. Ooh, fabulous. That's 1 coat. Now you're going to go in with the second coat and make sure that's all cured and shiny and ready for the art. Once you've cured both coats of your base color, you're going to go right in with the line work. I like to map out my shapes first, and then I go in and fill with the nail brush or either a thicker nail art brush. And I keep the thin stripy brush just for the edges. That way everything is efficient and crisp, and I don't have to spend eons on eons cleaning up with a French brush. Old me 2 years ago knows that struggle all too well, sadly. So just like the other nail, oops, I made a accident. Don't you love that? Oh, look, TV magic is fixed. So I map with the stripy or the thin liner brush, and then I fill in with a thicker one. And then after I filled in, I go through and I just crisp up my edges. I map it out, and then I'm gonna fill it in. Now you can see me using that thicker liner brush. It saves so much time. I can't believe I used to do it with that thin brush. I'm sorry, guys. If you were old client of mine, you know how long it used to take doing stuff. But I was just an absolute perfectionist. I wasn't about to do it with that fat one. I had to do with what, I had. And so when I'm doing line work like this, I prefer to do 1 color at a time. So since it's just black and white here, you're going to see me do all the black line work, and then I'm going to go in with the white next. Most of the white line work I could do with just my thin liner brush, which was a blessing and a curse, because I have to move so slow with the thinner brushes because it's so obvious when your lines are not even. I don't know how I didn't notice those things before, but But practice makes perfect, right? This one here was probably the most aggravating one that I had to do, because instead of doing the white first, I did the black first, obviously, and I had to just wipe off the excess white, which normally wouldn't be so hard, but I was trying to work on camera, and instead of having it like up to my face, I had to work from away, and I just could not see to save my life. So I ended up finishing that nail off camera, but I go back to my normal steps once I go back to the next nail. I just map it out with a thin brush. I fill it in with the bigger one and get annoyed by lint. You know, it's going to happen at least once while you're doing nails. If you're not getting lint in your nails, let me know what you're doing, because it don't matter how many dust collectors, fans, not fans are going, it's going to get in my polish. I could watch people do line work all day. It's so satisfying to watch. If you're enjoying this video and you also find it satisfying, make sure to like. If you're still watching right now, you might as well like. Go ahead and support your girl. Even if you're not buying a set for me, just engagement alone helps accounts more than you know. After all my nail art is done, I go in with a builder gel top coat, and I add some structure to the nail, and then I go in with a no wipe top coat on top of that just for extra shine. I just prefer the shine of this top coat personally. It's long lasting. You get that mirror shine, and it's just, there's, you know, you can ruin a look with top coat, or you can make a look with top coat. Top coat is key. Do not cheapen out when it comes to top coats, I promise you, okay? That's what makes it look so crisp and clean, honey. I like this one too, because sometimes with top coats you'll cure it and it almost like loses some of its shine, but after I've cured this one, I didn't see anything. It looks just as wet and glossy as it did when it went in the light. After. What am I saying? I don't know. So here's the finished look. What do you think? I think it's so much more crisp, so much more clean. Granted, it was easier because I wasn't working on a live client, a live model, but I'm pretty pleased with the results. What about you? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching my video, and I hope you check out my website to see some more work for me.